session, we're going to call this one raw pricing. And the reason I'm calling it raw pricing is because today I have the sales team here. 2 out of 3 guys are here. The third guy will show up when he shows up. He went to the other office by mistake. I don't know how. And let me introduce my guys to you. We have Orlando de los Santos.
What's up, guys?
And Andre Green.
How's everybody doing?
And take a shot of the empty seat, and that's where Michael Clone's going to be. All right, boys. So we've had a couple of months now. I mean, obviously, Orlando, you've been with me the longest. I think, what, you've been with 2 years now?
Yeah, about to be 2 years in November this year.
Andre hopped on a couple of months ago, kind of impromptu. He was more coming on for insurance needs.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, he became a structuring savant. I was like, yo, I got this deal. What do you think? We can do this deal? I was like, yeah, we can do this deal. And then all of a sudden, we're doing deals. So I want you guys to each talk about your experiences so far. You've been with me, Orlando, we'll start with you. You've been with me 2 years. So from beginning to now, what have you seen the evolution? I mean, you've gone as far as to go to Texas to teach seminars. Mm-hmm. And all this is developed through social media, Facebook, things like that. What have you seen in the industry in the last 2 years that you could share with people so that they can understand? Because I think everybody sees the highlights of what we do, but not maybe the struggles of how we get there.
Right. Mm-hmm. I think one of the main things that I have noticed from where I started to where I am now is the ability to be able to differentiate when you're speaking with a client and really kind of figure out a way of how to really structure it in a way that you're able to make the loan happen, especially with those little details when it comes to title, when it comes to appraisal. I think that's one of the main things that you only learn by just doing and being in the business.
By application, right? Yeah, I mean, and on top of that, not to get too advanced, but also operating statements and LLCs, things like that. There's so much detail work that goes into it that has to all line up right. And I'm gonna jump to Andre on this one now. Andre, you actually get approached by other loan officers to do their deals for them, right?
I do, which is very interesting. So, working on something right now, but what you realize after being in this business for a while, I mean, my background in mortgages goes back to 2006, 2007, right? So I've been in the space, I've left the space, I've come back to the space. But knowing that there are people that tell you they can get a loan done, and then seeing what it takes to really get a loan done, which is why you'll have a loan officer from another company come and ask you to do their personal loan with us. Right. Like, that's the reason for it, because I can tell you, I can blow smoke up your butt all day, but at the end of the day, if you need to get the money, you need to get it done in a fast time frame. We're the ones that get it done. Mm-hmm. Right. So it's not about saying we can do stuff and you're not getting it done. We'll close 10 days after we get the appraisal back. Like that's what we do, right? So it's important to know the person that you're calling a professional is actually a professional and can execute on the plan.
Yeah. Well, you're also in insurance, right? So then you've seen other. I'm not telling you to name names, but you've seen other companies, other loan officers, and you've seen like the way shit gets stuck, right?
Yep.
Right. So then, and then I think you came on and we did a few deals. You're like, yo, man, I never seen a shit move like this.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, I've been around real estate for over 2 decades now, right? Yeah. So I can tell pretty quickly on if the team that I'm working with or that I'm assisting on the insurance side can do it from.
Is that Michael?
I think that's Mike.
That's Michael.
I think that's Mike.
All right, keep talking, Mike. Come on in, bro.
Come on, Mike.
Keep talking, man.
I can tell this.
Just sit over there, bro.
Makeup was right.
What's up?
Makeup stuff.
All right, man. This is live.
Listen, I'm a kid from the Bronx. Y'all got me out all the way over here.
Bronx, great neck.
All right. So just make sure the mic is by your mouth, please.
There you go.
We're gonna help you.
5 inches.
Pause.
Oh, I'm going back to the office.
5 inches to your mouth. Pause. All right.
I lost. What I was saying before Mike came in was, I can tell pretty quickly if I know if the loan officer is competent, if the process team is competent, if the money is real, right? I can tell from the beginning of the transaction, just so how emails are going out and how things are getting done. The types of questions you ask are important, right? Right. So if someone is sending me an email like, "Hey, we need insurance and we need Everything's bullet pointed out. There's a format to it. You can tell someone's not just pulling it out of thin air when they need it.
Or just making shit up, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Like you can see that in just how it's presented. And that was one of the things that impressed me with you guys. Right. I can tell you had a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
And then when I got into a lot of the stuff that I get when I do deals, it's always a crazy, hairy stuff. Like no one else.
That's
can
what
get
we
done.
love.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff that I get thrown at me on a regular basis. And so when I sent you the first one, I'm like, that wasn't even a test.
And that was hairy as fuck.
Yeah, it was a nightmare, right? And that deal probably doesn't get done by 99% of people in the business.
Well, let's even break that down a little more. The deal was looked at by a realtor who brought his money guy. The money guy
brought four money guys to that deal.
All right, great.
Right?
4 turn downs. Then you don't get it directly from that guy.
No.
You get it from somebody else.
I get it from the borrower's friend who I know from another real estate group that I'm a part of. And it was just me and him in a conversation. Like, I got an idea. I got a friend who's got a deal. And then he rolled out the deal to me. I'm like, well, it should be able to get done, but I need to hear all the details.
Right.
Talked to the borrower, and he's giving me half the details. Right. So when I sent it over to you, I gave you what I had.
Right.
And then we get into the deal, like, well, what about the rest of the stuff? I'm like, I didn't know. So I called the guy. He's like, well, don't worry about that. Yeah. That's everybody's famous line. Don't worry about that.
Yeah,
we'll take care of that. Don't worry. It's easy.
Yeah. Just to add to what Andrew said, I believe you mentioned in a post once is that there are loan officers that are paper pushers,
right?
And then there are loan officers that actually are able to structure the loans properly, and it just comes down to that education piece and being able to really see exactly what is it that needs to be done and the most efficient way to make it happen.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And the awesome thing about 2023 now is that it's purging the bullshit guys out.
Which is what happened years ago.
Yeah,
remember,
it's happened, right?
Yeah.
It's happened in 08.
Yeah, it happened again.
2019, 2020, everybody was a loan officer, everybody was a real estate agent. Yo, catch me on the Instagram. Yo, I'll sell you a house. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's less people out there, but the people that are out there kind of like jaded now.
Yeah.
They're like, yo, come on, man. 7%, man. Like, come on. Mike, what you been seeing out there?
Listen, I quote anything.
Mike, thanks for coming up. Thanks for showing up.
I'm sorry, I was never invited on this side before. I'm used to my regular. Come to the Great Neck, we pull up, go get some Peter Luger's. No, I'm kidding. But no, listen, I've been telling you, I've been quoting hard money. I'm like, listen, you guys need some quick, easy money in getting deals? I'll hit you with a hard money deal, no problem. We get it. Right. 55 LTV, 65 LTV. Oh, girl, what is it? 6%? I'm like,
at 10.
Yeah. I'm like, double it plus 2. What are you talking about, bro? I'm like, listen, that's just the cost of capital right now. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm not knocking you over the head. Right. I'm giving you what is the best I have to offer.
Well, conforming rates right now where?
Yeah.
Where are they now?
For standard residential is like a 6%.
It
is. He's talking about even for FHA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what are we?
6% in non-conforming investment properties. We're at 7.8.
Yeah,
which isn't that far off, right? Which is pretty crazy. And then now we have, the riskier it gets, like we're doing foreclosure bailouts, we're doing tax lien payoffs. That becomes 16%.
Yeah.
If you have we did a deal in Brooklyn, we did 12% because it was good LTV.
Right.
It was still kind of jacked after we started digging into it, but it was good LTV. Right. And that's what they liked about it. It was good LTV. Yeah.
But it's just interesting. And again, so people concerned about what the rate is right now. Let's say like a month and a half ago, it was still at 7%.
Yep.
So if you would have started at least your process, start doing what you're doing, maybe you lock in about
maybe get a little dip.
Exactly.
Right.
Better than what it is. So people are so concerned and they're waiting for the right moment. Like, oh, the rates are not good enough. They're not what it is, what I want. Just start your process. See where you at. You don't know where you're gonna lock out at.
Yeah.
Just see what you qualify for.
Yo, in 2019, 2020, rates were as low as 1.99. And you have people saying, I'm waiting for the bottom. And I would tell people, if it goes any lower, the economy will collapse.
Yeah. Right.
Understand that, fucking federal chair of a fucking Greenspan. Everybody's a fucking guru. I was like, come on, bro. And those people still don't own houses right now. And they're still on the guy. And now, if they could buy, let's say, $1 million at 1.99, they can only buy $400,000 at 6.75. Right? And
huge
there's
difference.
And now you have the values haven't come that far down, but they're not going as high up as before, and people are not paying cash over mortgage no more, which was crazy in 2019, 2020. People shelling out $50,000 on top of.
That's wild.
Yep.
Wild.
That's so wild.
Yep.
I think even to that extent, from what we've seen, especially on that one deal on Lexington, when we was expecting a decent amount of LT, like we was expecting a loan amount of like freaking 2.3 million.
We're expecting a value of 3.5.
Yeah.
Conservatively. Right.
Based off the other properties surrounding it, based off of the previous appraisals that were done on the property, the one identical unit right next to it, to come back with an appraisal of what,
1.16, 1.7?
That's a huge drop.
1.7.
Yeah.
It's just the market? Just a change in the market?
I mean,
It's a
different
temperament
categories,
towards like speculation, right? Like, usually if things are trending upwards, you get the appraiser to give you like maybe a little bit, not a bump, but rather the padding of the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
We're not in that market right now.
Yeah.
We're not in the market. And unless you're luxury, ultra high finish, ultra done, that's when you get that little pass because you've spent a quantifiable amount of money on the inside.
Yeah.
This, no offense, this is a shit show.
yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was a shit
was
show.
and it still is.
Yeah, and it still is, right. So you weren't getting the pass on it, but people are being more conservative now. Most fund managers are now in the risk assessment mode where they're like, we'll lend, but we're just kind of looking because we kind of see there's going to be a trend of default.
And that part is where the problem is going to come in for a lot of clients, right? Because there are every throw a rock you'll hit a hard money lender, right?
Right.
Throw a rock you hit a loan officer, but do they know what they're doing, right? Do they understand? You understanding the loan, and then understanding your client, and then understanding the lender,
And the economy, right?
right?
The economy. 'Cause
There's four sides to it. So if you don't really understand how one part intersects with the other part, you're either gonna promise something you can't deliver, or just string someone out for so long that then they're just stuck.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, just to speak about the elephant in the room about commercial real estate, and with all these office spaces that people were in adjustable rates, they're coming due, and it's going to be interesting to see the lenders, what kind of game plan do they have to make sure that either they are able to help them clients, or what is it gonna do because of the rate right now?
No, they're gonna take massive. They're gonna have massive defaults coming up, and what they're gonna have is they have to become more creative with the spaces, right? Because now nobody needs 100,000 square feet, right?
Of office
I think
space,
Chase just consolidated. They moved everything to one building. They moved out of other buildings because you don't need that much space.
I think they gave up 2 million worth of square feet last year.
Right, because they're consolidating to this one building, right? So landlords now have to kind of figure out how to make it attractive to get people there. I still think there is a space for experience for clients. Like if you want to have, let's say, a bank, and you want to have people come in and have coffee and spritzer water and all that stuff.
Yeah.
There's a place for that, but it has to be used well. And then you got to talk about margins, right? Like you got to be working on the right margins. I think you said it about hard money lenders. I just want to touch on it. So you have a whole bunch of hard money lenders out here in the streets, right? But there's something called institutional lending, and there's something called proprietary lending. Proprietary lending is more what we do, which we are direct to the money. We make the decision. Yeah. We issue a commitment. We close.
Right.
Then you have institutional money, and that's I don't want to put their names out there, and I don't make enemies out here, but you can put it together. They'll issue a commitment. Then they send it back to their underwriter, which is really not their underwriter, rather the investor's underwriter.
Yeah.
And then they'll come back with maybe more stipulations, or they'll kill the deal, or they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And those are the two type of lenders we have out there. In 2019, 2020, it was very easy to be an institutional lender because things were all going right.
Yeah.
So everything was like, fuck it, let's do it. Let's do the loan. Now we're going to get a lot of more pushback. And I think that's more of an ability for us to grab more market share because you have a lot of guys that they're not direct to the money like us. So, when I say, it's going to get done, you'd be like, for real? Like, it's going to get done.
That's all you
It is a little too good right now. It's going to get done.
That's it.
Yeah, it's going to get done.
O's is gonna get done is better than a pre-approval.
Yeah.
Take the word, just be like, yo, not what?
It's going to get done. I think you called me, I was in Puerto Rico, and you were like, how do things move along when you're not around? I was like, they're moving. Get the payoff. I was drinking. I was like, get the payoff, bro. What are you talking about? We're closing.
Still in the
But that was the first deal. He didn't really know. He thought, you're not here, so I was like, shit ain't moving, bro. Like,
figure it out.
get the payoff. We'll close. That's it.
Emails are still coming.
Yeah. Emails still
As long
working.
as
I'm
it's
drinking,
Wi-Fi,
but I'm
we're
still,
working.
working.
As long as there's Wi-Fi, we out.
Right.
I got my laptop in the car. I was gonna bring it up here, but I was like,
To work while you're on the podcast.
Yeah, I was like, they're gonna make fun of me even more. So I was like,
Let me send this to real
they
quick.
can't see nothing on the screen.
You were on your phone. I'm not gonna say his name on the podcast, but you were on your phone with your favorite client. How's he doing?
It's not one thing, it's another.
Is he looking at more stuff?
He's looking at more stuff,
right,
but he's looking to get more capital. So I got other people involved. A couple of your old friends, But good people, they're all good people. But I mean, listen, he's trying to make something out of himself.
Okay.
He's trying to take every opportunity he can. So I'm like,
He's trying to be somebody.
yeah,
That's
you know,
dope,
it is
man.
what it is. You
Yeah,
know,
we gotta help everybody, man. As long as there's equity, there's a chance.
as,
That's it.
That's a bar. That's a bar right there.
As long as there's equity, there's a chance in hard money.
That's a bar.
That's definitely that's what I've been focusing on as well. Specifically, I think I've told you, I'm starting to try this campaign about people who are pre-foreclosures and doing all
Right.
that to make sure that the people who have equity and perhaps they can't pay out of pocket for whatever fees,
Can save the
refinance
properties.
it costs you nothing. It's just appraisal and application fee, and that's it. You know, we can help you save your own properties. So
Right, and you sell them at your own term.
Yeah.
Right, or restructure, or sell
keep
it.
all
Or
the equity you
give
can.
time. Right,
Yeah,
right.
You don't lose the property just based off either, I don't want to say lack of knowledge, but it was not presented to you that you have other opportunities like a hard money loan to get you out of your situation to then refinance you out, or then once you retain ownership, you then sell it on your own right, like you said.
Right,
Keep
on
all
your own
your
terms,
equity.
right, and name your price, right, where people are just lowballing you.
Yeah.
You feel that the Black and brown communities especially don't know their rights when it comes to certain things. You think they get something in the mail and they get shook, and then all of a sudden they scrambling.
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah.
It's not even a question. Because again, you know, because I feel like the extent of certain real estate knowledge and things of that nature comes from what they see on TV or they hear in the news or they see in the movies. It's like foreclosure. Oh my God, I'm done. There's something I can do about this. What is going on? And it's like, no, speak to somebody who knows what they're doing. Speak to an attorney. If you want to get out of something, speak to a loan officer who has the opportunities or has the people around
Wait a
them to get
minute.
them out.
Speak to us. Let's be clear here. Not speak to us.
Yeah.
Direct to the capital.
544.
Yeah, not speak to loan officers. Speak to us because
Exactly.
you can speak to any loan officer you want.
And
They're calling us anyway.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
call us directly. You know?
Yeah.
Save yourself a couple dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of homeowners just they don't know what they don't know, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's where it comes down to just
Make it zoom in his car.
Got you.
yeah, they don't know what they don't know. So, finding a person you know, like, and trust is first the most important thing to do. Second thing, that person needs to be competent, right? They need to know what they're doing. And like you guys keep saying, call us. There's a reason why you've been around for so long. You can do the deals that everyone else can't do because we have the skill set that everyone else doesn't have.
Yeah, and not one thing before you go, not all lenders are created equal, and what I mean by that is that we had a deal recently where I carved out. I wasn't direct to the client. I was talking to his property manager, and I carved out 3 scenarios. I said, "Look, we could do this one, but this is what I think is going to happen with that one. I think the investor's going to see this; they're not going to do it. I see this one, and then unfortunately, the one with the highest rate, I was like, this one will give you the money. They don't care. You're going to get your money. If you need the money right now, because I just don't want you spending $3,000 on an appraisal and us getting stuck with an open violation. All of a sudden, I'm the evil guy.
Yeah.
So I mean, like." Other lenders won't tell you that. They'll be like, "Yo, let's try it," and that just goes from the experience of failing and having to redo loans. But if you can take those failures and then apply it to educating your new client in a way, because sometimes they think they know more than you.
Oh, they always
and
do.
that's why I'm like, "Yo, go ahead."
They always do.
I'm like, door number 1, we can do this, but this is what might happen. If you want to go door number 1, we're good. Door number 2, and then luckily that client. His property manager was very smart. Shout out to you. You know who you are. And and we got it done.
And oftentimes the clients appreciate that honesty and the transparency, and they decide to willingly to do business with you just because of that.
Yeah.
Because you really took the time to really explain to them the actual scenario of what could happen and where we could go with their specific loan.
I feel like if they come to you with the right attitude, I think that's right. I think that sometimes too many people watch YouTube too much, and they know everything. No, but I can go. Then go.
Yeah.
And good luck. Let me know. I'm here. And I think I've told you guys in the past, like, yo, you don't push them out the door aggressively. You say, all right, man. Well, do your thing. I'm here if you need me.
Right.
Try to be as politically correct as you can be without minimizing your profession, because you're like, look, I don't think so, but maybe.
Yeah.
And sometimes they kind of find, if you leave it that way, like I've had clients come back a year later, or we talked off camera, they didn't show up. Yo, man, I fucked up. I'm like, all right, well, at least you can admit it. At least you can admit it. Here we are. Let's talk about it. And where are we? And what can we do right now? You know what I'm saying? But there's other clients that think they know more. They know more, and they'll ride you to death. They'll ride you to death. There's somebody at the stable who got rid a little bit by one guy, but you know, I told him don't go down to Sunday. Why you laughing? I'm like, you're not friends. He's a client.
Customer service. Customer service.
Impeccable customer service. I'll give you that.
The customer service that got a complaint.
Yeah.
They called me complaining to him. Not him, the other person. The other,
Yeah.
because he was meeting. I'm exposing him right now. He's meeting with both sides of the transaction. I'm like, yo, dude, that's not our side. We
Right.
stay on this side.
Right.
No, we're cool. We're gonna meet at Dunkin' Donuts.
I got a free cup
The
of
next
coffee,
day,
right?
I get a voicemail complaining about him from the other side. And I'm like, yo, dude, I'm like, you shouldn't even be talking to him. Let his attorney
Let
speak
his
to him.
attorney-
There's a protocol in place for that because of that. Because who knows what they're really doing, bro? People being shady all the time, and you gotta protect yourself.
That's a fact.
Yep.
That's
Well,
a fact.
I tell you this, in regards of that specific situations, I felt like how we spoke about earlier on behalf of like Latino, Black and brown people not really having that representation. So that's why I take situations like that. I'm like, listen, if I have the time, I have the availability, of course, I'll be there for you. You know, that's just how I feel. Although I'm not, you know, I'm still have a lot of things to learn as well, but I'm a bit more fluent in this business than average Joe Schmo, even people who own properties.
Right.
You know, one, I credit a majority of it to you from what I've learned to you, Omar. But imagine if these guys are there, they're just pressuring him into like, sell your property. There's
Yeah,
nothing you
sign
can do.
this. And he didn't know
Right
he
here,
was
come on,
signing. Yeah.
And I'm telling him, listen, you listen first. Let's listen to what they got to say. We have people in line for this. Let's just hear it out.
Yeah.
But there's no reason for you to be shook up. There's nothing for you to worry about right now. Who knows? Like, what if he went there by himself and it was just like, oh, okay, I don't care, I'm done, I give up. Just 'cause they
I don't know what's
convinced him.
happening. Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, out of nowhere, fucking, sorry, curse, apologize.
No, it's YouTube. It's fine.
Out of nowhere, you've seen the paperwork. A $600,000 mortgage is now out of nowhere becoming a $1.4 million
Yeah.
mortgage based off of their somewhat mathematics. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. And it coming from experienced realtors or investment property owners, this guy's gonna be like, shit, I can't pay that off even if I did get the owner. But this, that, and the third. And it's like, brother, they fucking with you. I mean, they're messing with you. Just listen to me. Just let's hear them. Let them speak.
Take a second.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Take the free coffee.
And sometimes I think what we, as professionals, also become guardians of our clients. Because Andre and I had a client that wrote a check that he shouldn't have written.
He wrote a very large check.
He wrote a large check
that
to
he shouldn't
somebody
have
to
written.
buy somebody out with no money in the account.
$0.
And we're like, no, hold on. no. It's gonna come from the escrow agent. No, it's not coming from this guy. Yeah, it's a client. Yeah. But you know what? Like
He
we're
didn't know.
trying
He didn't
to
know.
keep it
He didn't know.
Keep it
but-
cordial.
legit. We're trying to know. We're trying to keep
Yeah.
it legit across the board, and sometimes we gotta protect our clients from themselves. 'Cause
Yeah.
they think shit
They-
works differently.
He just
What?
HUD is not gonna get paid.
Oh man, HUDs. That's another one, right? So if you're a realtor and you're involved in a transaction, then you should always be reaching out. I can say this, right? Because I'm a realtor, I'm a lender, I'm everything.
Let's
right?
put it
I'm
on the
everything.
table.
I'll go to law school right now and become a lawyer. But you know, without transparency and communication, you don't have anything. So we had another deal where a realtor shows up and he's like, "Where's my check?" And I was like, "Who are you? How do you fit into this whole thing?" And what happened with that deal in particular is it just goes to show you that it's the lender that you use. That realtor went to, I guess, 4 different lenders, and they couldn't get the deal done. So they kind of gave up.
Yeah.
And then Dre ran into the deal through somebody else.
yeah.
We get it done. We're at the closing, and he shows up for his commission check.
I remember.
And we're like, "Yo, who are you?"
Right.
Right. And
No one spoke to him the entire. Mind
whole-
you, the transaction was short, right?
Yeah, it took like 2 weeks.
It took like 2 weeks. So he thought the deal was dead 2 months ago.
Right.
So when he heard it sort of pop back up, he's like, "Oh yeah," because what happened was when we sent over the term sheet to the borrower, he sent it to the realtor.
Right, to review it.
To look at it, and the realtor's like, "Take it," because you're not getting, because he knew no one else was doing the deal.
yeah.
He's like, "Take it. It's a deal. You're not getting anywhere else."
Right, you're not
But
getting money from anybody.
Nobody else spoke to him except for the borrower.
Right.
So then when he pops up at the closing, we're like, first of all, what are you looking for? Because
Well, I thought he wanted to come meet me because he follows me on IG.
you're a celebrity.
It was more than that. It was more than that.
Content, man. I love
Verified.
Nigga got jokes. Yeah, that was a pretty weird one. That was a weird one. Yeah.
But he wasn't so friendly once he realized he wasn't getting paid.
because his money was short, right? So you
I'm
know,
sure he unfollowed you all.
Probably did. He probably reported me. He probably reported me to IG. He's not real. He's not verified.
That's what it is.
Yeah. You had some deals in Connecticut.
Yeah.
A lot of telehealth financing in Connecticut,
Yes.
right? So there's a lot of business going on in Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot of business in Massachusetts. You do a lot of business in Delaware, right?
yeah,
In Delaware.
MPA, yeah.
MPA.
Yeah.
And you do a lot of business in Texas.
Texas, Florida.
Your group is from where, though? There's a group that you're tight with.
Yes. So the actual group is from Texas. So they teach people how to invest, start fixing, flipping, and it kind of developed from there. I'm involved in a lot of Facebook groups,
Right.
mainly Spanish speaking, who are either investing in fix and flips or either they're looking to get
They
started.
want to learn. Right,
They want to
right.
learn
Yeah.
and kind of just had a snowball effect. And pretty much right now, just a little bit of Maryland, Florida, Texas.
So they're all kind of like
a little bit
expanding.
spread out, spanning.
Okay.
Yeah. We did that deal in Miami, right?
Yeah.
We did a deal in Miami. We're closing a deal in Texas this week, which is pretty dope. We're nationwide for everybody who's listening out there.
And we're on your side.
Yeah, and we're we're nationwide. We're on your side, and we're direct to the money. I mean, I don't know what else I gotta say there. You know, I mean, look, you guys get approached more, and I love it now because I want to build a buffer between me and a lot of the guys on the street because it's just a lot of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So you guys get a lot of talk from other loan officers. I mean, Andre, the last one he got was pretty hilarious. I told him leave my name out of it.
Huh?
They were talking?
No, leave my name out of it because they know me. And what they're gonna do is once they see my email, they're gonna try to circle around. I was like, no, you stay front, you stay front.
Yeah.
But you have guys in other banks that talk to you about that. How are they doing? Because all I hear is people suck and win. All I hear is people like, yo, how you guys doing business? Yo, how you doing this? Yo, how you doing that? I'm like, by doing it every day. You know, we never stopped.
I'll tell you this, since the rate's been going up, nobody's really been talking to me about closing deals. Everybody's been like, oh man, you know, it's tough, you know, it is what it is. I got to find what I could find.
Right.
But I have not had any conversations about anybody closing multiple deals a month or even a week or one after another, like at least from what we've been producing here.
Right.
So I tell you, shit is tough. It's like, you know, when cryptocurrency went down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody was a crypto millionaire.
Yeah.
Everybody was making
once until
5
Luna
Gs a
went
week.
down, once Luna went down, everybody's like, yeah, though. What's going on? What's my balance? It's the same thing, you know. Like you said, is weeding out everybody. He's weeding out the strong ones that are here to stand and here to stay, and then the people who wanted a quick buck.
Yeah.
I mean, it also goes back to the mindset, right? Especially in this market. Personally, I don't have experience how it was in 2008.
Oh, shit show.
Yeah.
It was a shit show.
It was a shit show.
Yeah.
But I walked into it around 05, 06. I didn't know any better. Like,
Right.
the guys who were like 03, 02,
Right.
they were spoiled because they would do anything.
Yeah.
Anything. Approved. So they were making like, I remember numbers on the board back then, $250,000 a month. They were raking in the money.
You getting 40 grand a deal back then.
Right. Wow.
Because you getting front end, you getting back end.
All ends.
You getting spreads. You getting Chinese food. Everything's coming in the door. And it went from being stupid easy to just stupid. And it was like, well, what do we do now? And we're like, well, I'm taking all my toys, I'm going home.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. It just everybody left at the same time. It was a
Right.
mass exodus out of the market for various reasons. But whoever stayed were people that either didn't know any better or learned enough that they could, weather the storm.
Right.
Yeah.
But for most people, everybody who was just fly by night, they're just here for the money. They weren't trying to learn anything. They weren't trying to service clients or build a business. Like you couldn't weather the storm.
You had soccer moms saying the loan officers. People living, people at the soccer, hey, I can do your loan, girl.
Yeah.
And they put that shit on a napkin.
They were strippers doing loans.
Yeah, they were strippers doing loans.
strippers
right?
doing loans.
They take you a tip and then do your loan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was wild like that.
They had the down payment.
Yeah, it was wild like that. And then what happened was in 08, 09, FHA became almost 90% of the money available. The government came in kind of like they came in during COVID, and they became the go-to, and FHA was the way. That was like, that's actually the slogan, FHA is the way. Everybody was doing FHA. Everybody kind of qualified now for FHA.
Yeah.
And then you had the Lend Americas, you had all these subprime banks that rebranded themselves. They went out anyway, but
Heroes.
they were killing it. They were killing it, bro. They were killing it. And then coming back to now, we had a good wave, and then COVID hit. I remember when COVID hit, the initial hit was crazy. Everybody was like, yo, what the fuck we gonna do? Like,
go to
nobody
office.
was lending. Yo, dude, they were on the conventional side, you would submit a loan, and during the process, they would verify employment. At closing, before they funded your loan,
verify
they
employment.
called to make sure you still had a fucking job. Because people losing their jobs like that. People were getting a call on Monday, yo, you're not working here tomorrow, Tuesday. And if you didn't have a job, you're not closed. Even if you closed, it didn't matter. They dissolved the whole thing. So I remember that. That shit was crazy. And that's kind of when I went hard into private equity money. Because I was like, I can't take this, man. I can't take all these fucking like stopgaps. Like they were looking to not do loans for me. And that's when it got scary. Yeah, I was like, yo, no, this is not for me. And then eventually the market came back, and now I feel that the market's good. I think we have enough volume where we're getting approached by different lenders, and I'm able to even figure out which credit facilities I don't want to use. Like some of them, like, oh, we're good. Now I look at it, I'm like, what is this trash?
All money's not good money, right?
I'm like, what is this trash, man? Get out of here. I try to keep it politically correct, but I'm like, nah, we're not going this way, guys.
You can pretend to be as strong as you want.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Oh, if your bank has strong in it, you're not strong. You know what I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. Thanks for reminding me. I got you. Weak ass
That's an
bank.
uphill battle.
Now we're just playing with puns. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and even then, right, like going back to what we were saying, not all banks are created equal. Some banks will come and say, yeah, we could do this, we could do that, but they don't know New York. And New York is a whole different animal. Like if they're based out of Texas, and they don't know how to deal with New York, then they shouldn't come to New York. And that's a deal I just recently had to flip out because I was like, yo, you guys know what the fuck you're doing. They're like, no, we know what we're doing. I was like, look, it's gonna close. Just not with you. All right, just keep pushing, man. But again, it goes back to experience, knowing how to place a product and knowing what investor is gonna actually do the loan compared to somebody who's gonna like say, hey man, there's an open CO for bathroom. We can't do this loan. Or hey man, the guy was wearing red when we did the appraisal. We can't do the loan. You know what I'm saying? Like dumb shit like that. So yeah, I've seen it all, man. But you guys, you benefit from that from me. Yeah. But you guys are out there on the forefront and you deal with the clients directly. So what is it that you feel, the first thing when you talk to a client, what's usually the thing they say to you?
Automatically, what's the rate? What are we talking about?
What's
the rates
rate?
out there? What's the rates out there? Like, brother, what do you want to do first?
Right.
I could tell you between 6 to 15%. I don't know what you want to do. Talk to me first. Let's figure it out.
You got to tell them, hey man, how many times have you tried to close your loan?
Exactly.
Depending on that will be depending on the
How
rate.
long have you been trying to purchase a property? How many years have you been into this? Trying to do the same thing over and over, and you never execute. So what are we doing?
Yeah, we've had deals been looked at 4 or 5 times before we closed it. We had your boy that was working with different brokers, and he couldn't close it.
Nope.
I mean,
We ended up getting it.
yeah, we closed them too. What's up with our boys in Florida?
Oh man.
So about 9 months on a deal.
9 months on a deal and counting.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So-
Three families. 3 1 families.
Three one families. We met originally back in October. I
Last
was
year.
like, all right, great. Let's order the appraisal.
Easy money.
Easy money. I was like,
And we had one in New York.
Yeah.
And we had one in New York.
We had one in New York. Easy money, ready to go. Came from a different lender. So we started the process. Shit was going down with them, whatever. So we thought, right, it was gonna close in about 2-3 weeks. Nice commission checks. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
And then
One thing after another.
one thing after the other, title, HOA management not answering the calls, documents here, documents there, and
people that buy from sellers and do seller financing, one thing they have to understand is sometimes they don't get clear title, but they don't know enough. They don't know, because, I got seller financing, all shit is good. And then you try to get financing and all of a sudden you got like liens and open work permits and que si lo que, like all types of shit. And you're like, yo, what is this? And they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like I closed the deal like 6 years ago. It was all good. I was like, you closed it because it was seller financing. So he was like, yo, whatever, take it.
Just take it.
Take it. I'll lend you the money. Just pay me back. And so those are the things that we're starting to learn. And it's, again, going to Latinos. They trust a lot. And sometimes that hurts them. Sometimes that hurts them because later when they're trying to tap their equity and they can't, they get stuck. And we're still working on those 4 deals.
yeah.
Same client.
Wow.
Same client.
Customer service.
It's definitely practice.
Question for you, do you guys look at self-finance type deals, right? Do you look at that at servicing? Is that important to the lender on an exit, on a refinance, right? If I bought a property and it was seller finance, does it matter that I make my payments through a servicer or make my payments directly to the owner?
No, it just as long as you verify it. Some banks don't care. If we're doing true proprietary money, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. If we're doing money that we're selling to a servicer, like you said, they'll want 12 months canceled checks or a VOM or some sort of proof, like to show that the money went one way.
Okay.
But there's ways around all that.
Gotcha.
You know, it can all be done.
Okay.
Gotta get paid regardless.
Gotta get paid, baby. Gotta get paid.
Gotta make some money.
Equity is king, man. Equity is king.
So what was the recap before? What did I miss?
The miss was that you were in Great Neck and we're in
You guys want to change it up over here, you know?
and we're over here. So we didn't. I don't want to say where we were because I don't want people showing up.
No.
But
I thought this was like a mafioso meeting when I came up here. I was like, what is this? Y'all got
Any
me
money
X
left and right.
money? Yeah. And then some town shit.
it's about to get hot out here in terms of the streets. I think summertime's always good for business, for sales and buys. But I think for us, I think if we market ourselves correctly as basically problem solvers,
Absolutely.
I don't think there's ever gonna be a slow because everybody always has problems, and the bigger problem that you can solve, the more you make.
Get paid.
Right.
Yeah.
What have you seen lately as far as expectations when it comes to the clients on either on the seller side, buyer side, when it comes to the rates? Because what it seems like a lot of people are still in the 2021, 2020
The
values.
mindset. Yeah.
I think
compared to the buyers now, where do you see a big disconnect still, or kind of the market slowly steadying, kind of correcting itself?
I think the market's great because the market teaches people lessons. Like I've gotten approached by certain people that are super qualified for, let's say, residential buying, but they want to buy their first mixed use. Like I'll use an example. I got these two guys that want to buy this property in Brooklyn for like 2 point whatever million. They both have houses, right? They live on Long Island, but they want me to tell the underwriter that they're gonna both live in the apartments. And I'm like, how does that fucking make sense? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the rate, Omar? Why does it fucking matter? Like, I was like, it's not gonna work for you. Oh no, it's gonna work. I'm like, you're gonna take your kids out of your Long Island school system and put them in public school system over here in New York City? This makes sense to me. You don't even have a business over here. You work over there. Like, I was trying to like. Sometimes they think they're smarter than you, right? And you know what it is? The more money they have, sometimes the more smart they think they are. And the rules of engagement have changed. Like they gotta understand. So sometimes, to me, it's better to let it go. Yo, free advice. Go ahead, good luck. What's the best rate? 6-7%. If we could make it happen. Good luck. And then I just kind of like turn my attention. I just the one thing I can tell you is that work with the people that want to work with you. Those are your clients. Yeah. The people that are just customers, just calling, kind of shopping you, give them a little bit of service and just divert your attention. Because if you get caught up in that game of I told him and that,
proving yourself.
Whatever, man. Yeah. Good luck.
Speaking of that, I spoke to you about this earlier today when me and Orlando was getting some coffee. What's your take, or everybody's take, right, on people that come to you and they want to shop your rates against other people?
Yeah.
Value is senior to terms. At the end of the day, if you provide enough value, the rate shouldn't matter. Because anybody can go to banks and get a piece of paper with the terms. But you can get the terms, you can get whatever terms you want. But at the end of the day, who is that loan officer that is going to tell you, listen, although my rates might be a little bit higher than this, but look at all the value that I'm providing you.
You know, so the reason why I asked the question, because I had this happened to me last week, right? And it wasn't that the rate was higher. The origination fee on the front end, ours was lower. The rate was actually lower than what the guy already had. Okay. He took the information that I gave to him and went back to them because they already ran my credit. That was his reason, right? I already ran my credit. But like Orlando just said, the value is that anytime that person has an issue or a question about their loan, about anything else, about insurance, they call me. They don't call the loan officer. They call me. So providing additional value should be more important
Absolutely.
than just what's the rate and what are you charging me, right?
Right. Yeah.
Because after your transaction is done, are you gonna go call that guy to go ask him random questions? You're not.
All right, hold on. All right, guys. Price just went up. I just said right. Price just went up. So based on this conversation, I'm gonna have to raise the prices. Just FYI. All right.
Just to add to what Andrew said, I actually had the client that just paid the appraisal this morning. Mm-hmm. She called me up, a Facebook lead that I got. She called me up. Hey, what are your rates? What are this? I'm looking to refi cash out. I gave her the terms, but I was able to provide her enough value, and I was able to help her and really explain to her how we could get the loan done to get her out of that hard money.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So although she rate shopped me with a couple other lenders, she came back to me because of that extra service that I gave her up front.
Good for you. Yeah. Sometimes people are so busy with the little number up front.
Yeah.
I mean, how many banks, not to start shouting people out, how many banks offer these great rates and don't close shit?
No. Yeah.
Yep.
Right? I'll give you 5%. Show me one person you closed.
Yep. Yeah.
Show me one person you closed. Like I said, you were wearing red that day. We can't do the loan. Or, you were wearing Adidas. We're Nike.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some stupid shit, and they won't close the loan. But luckily, Orlando had a good example of that. Sometimes the bad example will be they'll go and pursue, get turned down, and then come back to you. Usually they're worse off than they when we first started. And then you got to play fucking emergency operator doctor and fix it. And but usually when they get smacked in the mouth a couple of times, they're actually in a better place mentally. Yeah,
absolutely.
like,
Absolutely.
I believe you. I have seen the other side, and it's not good. Yeah, absolutely. Because unfortunately, and that's the patience game, right? That's the patience game where you gotta be working on enough stuff that it can bother you a little bit, but shouldn't throw you off your day.
Right.
You should be like, all right, man, you know what, F you, and keep it pushing. Yeah. And then if it comes back, it comes back. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And you don't want those people anyway, because if they're gonna question you about that, they can question you about every single thing. Yeah. And that becomes a whole other job, right? Sure. A whole other job. You talking about customer service, talking about customer management, client expectation. Yo, dude, relax. Why don't you call me today? I can't call you every other hour. I have to actually do the work. So no offense.
Add another point onto this, and then you have full 24/7 access.
You're talking about a 6-point class. A full access line. VIP. Okay.
Full access line.
11 o'clock at night. Phone call.
Yeah. Sure, honey. No, he's VIP. He's VIP. He's white glove service.
Relax. You want the new bag? Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta answer this call real quick.
Absolutely. Yeah. But if not, I mean, that could work to a certain degree. Yeah. But also, people push, and they'll try to take advantage, and they'll try to. They'll take anything you give them. They'll take it. They'll take it, and they won't even look at you twice. They'll be like you're just the word I want to use is you're a product, not a person. Yeah. And the thing is, you can't commoditize us. You can't commoditize service. You can't commoditize intelligence. You can't commoditize relationships. Like the things that we bring to it are that, like you said, when I say, yo, we could do this deal, we can do this deal. It's done. It's being done. Yep. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Get me XYZ, we're closing.
I'm not sure how many people this has actually happened to, but I think you probably forgot about this, and so did you. The one of the first deals I sent over to you guys is for a guy bought an investment property upstate New York. And I think 3 or 4 days before the closing, they were verifying funds to clear the loan. And it was a large deposit that went into his account from another loan.
Yeah.
He borrowed money at the end to fulfill the down payment and all the closing costs. Normal lenders, deal's dead.
Yeah. Well, remember, a DSCR loan is based upon the income and expenses of the property. The rest doesn't matter.
Right.
The rest doesn't matter. So they're not counting against his DTI. They're not counting against that. But only an educated loan officer can tell you that.
Exactly.
Yeah, because the guys are, deals that we can't do this.
You just have to verify the deposit, and that's it. Like, he needed it.
Yeah.
But that just goes back to experience and knowing what you don't know what you don't know, right?
Well, you can only move fast when you have experience and knowledge about the thing. Because if you don't have any knowledge, you're always going to be that hesitation. I'm not sure. Let me check. But over the years, I've seen enough craziness that I can kind of discern that's good. That's not that crazy. that's a little crazy, but that's not that crazy. Going back to like the SRO you had in Manhattan. I have an SRO coming up. I financed it twice already. Nice. The caveat on that deal is that there's a tenant in place with a life estate. So she can't. She has to get the title properly approved every time, and she's getting so desperate. She's trying to sell that property for like whatever she owed. Yeah, because she's like she can't do it no more. But again, I know how to handle a life estate, so I knew around it. We already financed her twice. She's like, "Can I come back for a third?" I was like, "Yes, yes,
Sure, come back.
can.
You have equity?
Doors always open.
You absolutely can." Yeah. So, what are you seeing now? Like, what's the plan for this year? What are you attacking, Michael? You're gonna start attacking more residential loans, right?
Yeah, more residential loans, and in regards of the hard money side and DSCR sides, the pre-foreclosures to help people save their properties.
Okay.
Those are my two primary focuses right now.
Okay, so hard money, remember, you can do a foreclosure bailout. It's not a problem. You could do tax lien payoffs.
Yep.
I'm trying to think what other you could do partner buyouts. List pendants on title is not a problem. Tax lien certificate sales not a problem. I'm just trying to give all the problems that people see and be like, oh, I can't do nothing. No, you can. You can. If there's equity, there's a chance. There's a chance.
2024.
Yeah. 2024. I'm running for president. All right, guys. What do you see yourselves in the next 5 years?
That's a good question.
We'll start with you, Dre. I mean, I know you're an investor.
I'm ready. I was ready.
He's ready.
I'm ready. I'm running for president. No. So in the next 5 years, right now my focus is investors, right? So I love to assist investors in either financing deals that they're looking to buy, develop, or rehab. That is the focus for the next 24 months, to help them build a portfolio, know that they have real money behind them, which gives them the confidence to go out and speak to sellers and brokers to know that they get their deals done. Okay. Right? And then from that transition, it's then to sort of grow a larger network to do larger deals across the country. We're already nationwide. Right. Now let's start, owning and investing in properties nationwide. Right. Large apartment complexes, multifamilies like you have up in Massachusetts, I have down in Delaware and Philadelphia. Large developments is my goal in the next 5 years, to build that business and invest with friends that I know, trust, and like, right? That's the plan. And also to, also provide education around insurance, financial literacy, and how all of them are connected to each other within the real estate game. Okay. That's what I'm here for. So I'm here for you guys to help you make more money and live your dreams.
There you go, live your dreams.
Hey,
Mike, go ahead, man.
It is interesting for me. In the next 5 years, I want to have a wife, dog, kids. No. Specifically, in the next 5 years, I only see myself strictly goal-orientated. Just focused on behalf of structuring my business with HGRN, with you guys here, in a way that there's not a client where we can't help. I come across anybody, from the knowledge I've acquired, we'll be able to be like, yes, it's 100% goal, and we're good to go. I have a goal of at least 50 million closed a year that I want to get to, which I plan on getting to sooner than later. So that is the baseline of what I'm looking to do. Now, on behalf of my personal self and investments for myself, I plan on owning at least 5 to 10 investment properties, just to start myself out, to have that baseline, so you don't have to struggle, have to worry about, I gotta close this and this deal. I have this investment properties that are supplementing that income from me. So that's my biggest personal goals. And then
that's the 5 year goal. All right, Orlando.
For me, now that I have my real estate license, one of the things that I wanna do is to be able to kind of take our communities into that higher bracket on a multifamily level, because our communities tend to focus a lot on the residential 1 to 4 unit families, and heavily invest that way. But you don't see a lot of players that look like us, that talk like us, that are able to represent us on a much bigger scale. Yeah, right. So that's my main goal for in the next 5 years, and obviously through that, being able to invest with friends, continue to grow with HGRN Capital, and eventually be able to open a nonprofit to give back to our communities.
And here's a hack he discovered. Right, he as a non-QM lender, as a hard money lender, we have access to certain properties, like auction.com. At auction.com, you can register a real estate broker and represent your buyer with the loan and the broker fee as a buyer's representative. So that's something he put me onto yesterday. So we're gonna start exploring that because that's another revenue stream that I didn't even think about.
Yeah.
When he sent me the thing, he's like, "Can we do this?" I was like, "Yeah." I just didn't know that was an option. That was an ability to do that.
Yeah.
So that might open up a whole different thing. You know, that might open up the ability for us to participate ourselves in it because we're like, oh, just leave the money we're making into it, put the deal and put it into the deal. So that's something I'm looking to explore this year also. I'm hoping to go over 100 units this year. And again, like Andre said, I want to eventually invest with people that I like, people that I work with all the time, and show you guys the things that I've done and just, you know, keep pushing forward and let us all light that path. I know it sounds corny, but like you said, they don't know. People don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know. And then if you don't look like you or sound like you or talk like you, whether English, Spanish, or whatever language, you know, they don't believe that they can be there.
Yeah.
There's that whole thing about imposter syndrome where they feel they shouldn't be there, that they can only. And I'm like, nah, man, it's there for everybody. It's there for everybody. We gotta just get it. We just gotta get it.
Yeah.
All right.
Get used to it.
Well, on that note, guys, thank you. Everybody, each of you, take the time speaking to the camera. Tell people how to contact you, what the best way to contact you is, please.
Okay. So if you want to get a hold of me, you can reach me on Instagram, Andre. So at Andre_talks_green. I can talk to you about deal structure, talk to you about financing. If I can't even help you with the financing, I can at least give you enough information so that you know what you need to be doing for the next couple of steps to get you on your way. I'm here to help. We're here to help. We're here to help you succeed.
Go ahead, Mike.
Here's my card. No, I'm kidding. My direct number is 917. No. If anything, any quick messages and stuff like that, you can hit me up on Instagram, mike.sinatra.hgrn. There for any real estate lending tips, anything you're interested in behalf of exploring further. I'll be there for you. You can just hit me up. We can have a quick conversation. I always like having conversation about finances and real estate. Now, when it comes down to actual deal structuring, the best way to get me is through text message or directly send me everything through email, which is mcalone@hgrnco.com.
The best way to contact me is either Instagram or WhatsApp. On Instagram is Funds Real Estate, and if you want to reach me quickly, WhatsApp. I'm there 24/7.
He really is, guys. He really is. 24/7, laptop everywhere. He picks up.
I know you could call from a laptop.
All right, guys. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for being on the show, and we'll see you next time.